Good afternoon, Mark Hutchinson. Ask Mark Realtor. This is Mark D'Andrea, the doctor of real estate. Guys, we bring you those videos every week. Smash that like button if you're enjoying them. Certainly share them on social media. We love bringing them to you. Each week we try to discuss a topic that has to do with either anything home or home tips and hints, or anything else outside of that we feel like we just want to be of assistance and be of service to you. So we're enjoying bringing them to you. Please smash that like button. Mark, thanks for inviting me on the call. How are you today, sir?
Sir, it's a great day. It's warm. It's not snowing. My feet hit the ground. I get to work with people like you. So what else could be better?
Well, I mean, you'd have to ask my wife that, but okay, I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say. I enjoy working with you and all the members of the AMP team as well. It's just a blast. Hey, Mark, today we're going to talk about home inspections. We may have touched on this topic before, but I don't think we delved into it too deeply. So I'm just going to kind of present what we want to talk about and then get your thoughts. So the contracts between buyers and sellers have a couple of paragraphs in them. One is related to home inspections and the different types of inspections that a buyer can do. And the other one is related to a remedy period where a potential buyer would ask a potential seller to fix certain things for them. So in this market, we've run into, as you well know, different situations from years past. In this market, because buyers are having to be fairly aggressive and sellers are being fairly conservative, buyers are finding themselves sometimes giving up that right of inspection, or if they have an inspection, they're giving up that right of remedy. But one of the clarifications I think we wanted to talk about, and then we'll throw this back and forth on other topics, but one of the clarifications we wanted to share with the audience that watches these videos is during the time, if there is an inspection called for and agreed to between the buyer and seller, that's the inspection period. During this time, a buyer does have the right from date of contract through the date of that inspection period, whether it's 7 days, 10 days, 12, or 15, they do have the right to cancel the contract or terminate the contract if at the inspection time they do find things that are beyond their ability to come to grips with. As long as it falls within that time frame that's agreed to, then they do have a right to terminate. So while the buyer does give up the right to remedy in the case that we're talking about, they still have a right to terminate their contract. Did you have any thoughts on that as we kind of ham and egg this and throw it back and forth, Mark?
Yeah, I always talk to my client, and I'm like most realtors, encourage them to always have a home inspection. And I know the sellers in today's market, they're looking for an offer that's like no home inspection or no remedies, and it's like that's really a disservice to my client as a buyer. And even as ethics and morals and everything takes in, I have trouble with no home inspections. So I worked with my home inspector, and we've come up with a couple of things to help. Number one, my home inspector is willing to do home inspections even if the contract doesn't allow it. That way, it's peace of mind for the buyer. They at least have someone with some expertise to be able to tell them this is your problems. This is what you're going to be facing. And he tries to do that before, during that first 10 days or so. Sometimes the buyer will wait until right before closing, or the buyer will say, well, let's do it after closing. That way you can tell me what I need to fix after it's mine. So there's some pros and cons, and I get what this market's like. I get what the offers are like to the seller. And the seller is going to take the best offer in their opinion for them. They're not going to take the best offer for the seller, for the buyer. They're going to take the best offer for the seller. I get that, but you and I still have our due diligence. We have to live with ourselves, and we have to be able to go to sleep at night and providing the best advice to our buyers what they need to do for a home inspection. I can't ever imagine doing a home inspection not having one, even on a new build. You do a home inspection because new builds are not perfect.
Mark, that makes sense to me, and I completely understand that. And one of the things that we should additionally share with our clients is sellers are required to provide, as long as it's a typical sale and not something that's a guardianship or something through probate where the seller has no knowledge of the house, sellers are required to provide what's called a residential property disclosure form.
Right.
And that helps our buyers to understand the seller's current knowledge of the mechanics of the house, and, you know, perhaps have some notes on there about things that may have gone wrong in the last 5 years, but they've been corrected, what was done, and that there may be there's no future issues. So there are still protections out there for buyers, the residential property disclosure form. The other thing that I like to discuss with my clients, because in this market, as you well know, we are, as buyers representatives, sometimes giving up that inspection or giving up that remedy. While we don't have to ask for a home warranty in the contract, we can always buy one for our clients. They can afford closing, and it'll be in place from the date of closing out to 12 months. So that also helps to protect against anything happening mechanically, electrical, plumbing, heating and cooling, or any of the appliances. And of course, with any other warranty, you want to call the company and make sure it's a covered expense. But there are still protections or ways that we can help our clients, our buyer clients, to protect themselves.
Right. And when you do a home warranty, if it's outside the contract, if outside the offer, you need to make sure that it's within that offer period, because I know that some of the homeowner warranties have a 30-day waiting period if it's outside the contract. So you need to finagle a way to get that in the contract, even if you're going to buy it for your client. That way it's effective immediately. And the other nice thing about the homeowner warranty is during the remedy period, sometimes you can get the homeowner warranty company to fix some of the remedies, and it doesn't cost the seller or the buyer. So you just have to look at the homeowner warranty plan, make sure it's part of the contract, and you've got some help there.
Mark, I agree completely. Anything else to add about home inspections for our clients? I have one other note that I'll just add real quick. One of the things I believe you and I encourage our buying clients to take heed of or to be aware of is home inspections are designed to obviously disclose things that the home inspector, and the home inspectors are certified, licensed people. They were required to be licensed, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago. And it's their job to find those things that our buying clients may be aware of. That home inspection is anywhere from 20 pages to 50 pages long. It is wise to focus on those items that the home inspector finds most problematic. There's usually a summary page with that inspection sheet. And I encourage my clients to focus on health and safety related items, not necessarily cosmetics or home owner maintenance type things, because the house is a resale house, generally speaking. It's not being sold to you as a brand new product. And there are going to be some things that as a new homeowner, you're going to probably need to take care of yourself. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree. And that's why sometimes when I do an offer, I tell the seller that we're going to look at safety and structural issues, and only those items that's above $2,000, $5,000, some dollar amount is all we're going to be considering about asking for a remedy, because that way they know we're not going to nickel and dime them to death. I've seen remedy requests that they want all the outlet replaced because it's cracked or it's got some paint on it, or it's a different color. You know, that's not what that is for. You know, you're after the major things that affect the quality of life once you move in. So, you know, safety and structure, but yeah, I agree. You're right on target.
Mark, I appreciate it. This has been a great discussion, guys. Obviously, we conform to the Columbus Board of Realtors and the Division of Real Estate when we have these discussions. We appreciate you listening. We hope that you learned something today. Mark, I really appreciate you having me on the call. Guys, if you like this video from Mark Hutchinson, the Ask Mark Realtor, and Mark D'Andrea, the Doctor of Real Estate, smash that like button, share it on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and every other platform you're on. We're going to keep doing them for you. We appreciate you taking the time to view them. Mark, again, thanks for having me on the call. Have a great day. I enjoyed the conversation.
All right. Until next week.
Yes, sir.